Welcome. This practice is going to be pure gold, solid gold dancers for your shoulders, your upper back, your neck, um, really your whole body. Because when we get a little fixed up here, it affects everything. When we lose mobility and range, muscles can get tight, things can start to overcompensate. We can even feel less steady on our legs and feet. So stand on up. We're going to start standing and just get like a benchmark for how you're feeling. Move around a little bit. You can kind of shift side to side. You could do a little side to side forward reach with some easy rotation of the spine. You can let your head go with you in that rotation or keep looking forward. Maybe do a little of each, see how that feels. And then if it's all right with your arms, with your shoulders, you can also reach up. Again, just getting a sense. You could look up or look forward. How am I feeling in this neck, shoulder, upper back, trunk area? And how do I feel in relationship to my legs? Okay, and then shake that all out. For this practice, you just need a set of blocks and a wall space. So we're going to start with our first block move. You can make this more strengthening by using your cork blocks. If you have foam blocks, I would start with them just to make sure your shoulders are agreeable. I know the cork blocks don't seem like much, but when we're doing a repetitive movement with a long lever, like T-arms, which is where we're going to start, those blocks start to feel really heavy. So just holding out here. You can also put the blocks down. You don't really need them. They're just kind of fun. So soft knees, sit in your heels a little bit. And of course, you've got just, the really gentle smile of the low belly in and up. And we're going to do the wash rag arms. So wringing out the arms. One goes down and back, the other goes up and back. And of course, we're not just moving the hands, we want this to come from the shoulders. So I'm exaggerating it here, not so much. You can do a couple of these kind of exaggerated side to side, but then see if you can keep your spine a little more stable, not so much sass, not so much solid gold dancer, and a little more concentrated just at the arms. So can you see how I'm really trying to focus this work in the shoulders rather than letting my spine make me feel like I'm doing more than I'm doing? Okay, so it's a big shoulder strengthener. I'm going to do each movement for about a minute, but I'm not counting right now, so we're going to do it for a little bit longer. Couple more. Just keep breathing through your nose. Keep your gaze forward at your own horizon line. And then release. Ooh, you feeling it? Just hang those arms, noodle arms. You can even lean forward a little bit, shake it out. Okay, movement 2, still holding the blocks. For this one, you're going to come to more of a goal post. Now, if right out to the sides, like literally out to the sides, doesn't feel good, you can take your arms a little more forward. You can also bring them down. That's going to make this easier. Okay, down is easier. I'm going to have mine up just for the visual. So we're going to keep one arm up, maybe even see if we can tilt it back, not from the hand, but from the shoulder while the other one comes down. So we're going to do this this probably has a name. I want to call it the robot, but I don't think it really is. But we could think of it kind of like doing the robot dance. So again, it's kind of like the trunk wants to help, but see if you can keep your trunk fairly stable. See if you can keep your elbows more toward shoulder height unless you're, consciously, intentionally bringing them down. This is challenging. This is no joke. Okay, I'm going to do a few more. If you need a rest, you take it. But, strengthening can be uncomfortable. So as long as it's not sharp shooting pain, see if you can breathe with it. We're almost there. Through your nose. And then, ooh, release. So we're going to set those blocks down now. Oh, shake that out. Do some cross chest, wide arms. This will probably feel pretty good. You can walk around. When we think about neck tension or neck stiffness, we usually go right to the area, right? Like if my whatever hurts, I go right there. And I think that's where the quote unquote problem is. But oftentimes, neck stiffness is coming from a lack of mobility in the shoulders and the upper back. Everything affects everything, of course. So, our second move, I love this one because it breaks some rules, some myths that we have in commonly in yoga. Take your hands. You can stack them if that feels like too much. Just find the right place for where your hands can be. Palms out. Typically lower will be a little bit easier, but that's not always true. So you can again play with how wide and where they are on your back. Soft knees. Here's our movement. We're going to bring the elbows forward and round the upper back. Let the head go. What? We never round the upper back. It's bad, right? No, it's not bad. It's a totally natural movement for the body. So it's like a standing cat. And now come up, little bit of that belly support, little belly smile here. Take your elbows like little fluttery wings, take them back. Lift your breastbone, lift the very top of the breastbone and look just slightly up. Ooh, feel the breath big in the top of your bell. And then elbows go forward again. Rounding the back, let the head go. Don't pull the chin down, just let the head go. Rounding the back. It's like your elbows want to touch in the front, but of course they can't. Ooh, now breathe across the shell, like the turtle shell of your back. And then elbows go wide, spine starts to come into extension, the little heart opener. Not overdoing your sitting bones back here. That's why we want that little bit of front support. Feel the opening coming more in the upper back, upper chest. Use your breath here. And then one more time, elbows forward. Let the head go round the back. Scoop your belly organs into the back of your body. And then elbows back. Hug your elbows like they could kiss back there. And lift with your breath. Lift the top of your chest. Broaden your collarbones, maybe looking up slightly. And then release and bring that back to neutral and shake it out. Shake it out. Okay. Great. Next one. Arms forward. And I'm flexing at the wrists here. I'm extending at the wrists. Technicalities. Because we're going to be on the wall in a moment. So I want us to pretend like we're on the wall here. Push your hands forward and spread your shoulder blades. And then pull your shoulders back and kiss your shoulder blades, or get them feeling like they could kiss together, and then spread them apart. Kiss together, spread them apart. Kiss and spread. Now come to the wall. I'm going to have my back to you. I don't expect you need to look at me anyway. Hands on the wall, right about shoulder height. If this doesn't feel good on your wrists, you can do fingertips. And then exactly what we just did. Push the wall and pull your chest back away from the wall. You're not doing that big cat back, but you are spreading your shoulder blades. Now it's like your chest wants to move to the wall and your shoulder blades come back and together, more toward the spine. Spread the shoulder blades away from the spine and then pull the shoulder blades toward the spine. Okay, keep doing a few of these. Now it might be common that your shoulders want to come way up by the ears. They might lift a little bit in the movement, like don't force them to stay down. No shoulder blades down in your back pockets kind of thing. That's totally unnecessary. But if you find they're really like scrunched up around your ears, of course, just let them release a little bit. Okay, one more. Really, really emphasize each direction. Okay? And then release, step away, shake off. Ooh. Just do a little bit of that movement that you did at the beginning, whatever you did. Okay, I did a little side to side, and then I did a little like forward rotation, and then I did a little up. Just see how that's feeling. And then shake that out again. Okay, our next movement, I love this movement. We're going to do it facing the wall, but of course, if I go to the wall, you're not going to be able to see very well. So just watch for a moment. Pretend I'm at a wall. All right, the closer you are to the wall, the more challenging this is going to be. So you might start by giving yourself a little step back and then hinge forward a little bit and let your head come to the wall. And then if you find that's really easy, you can walk your whole body toward the wall and put your nose on the wall perhaps. All right, once you find the position, this is what I want you to see. So remember, there's a wall right here. My arms are up. If your arms don't go up, you can start with your arms lower, okay? So I'm going to pull down. I've got to stay off the wall. I'm off the wall. I'm off the wall. Now I'm going to try to rotate my forearms from being up to being down without touching the wall. And then I'm going to go up and I'm going to try to keep my hands off of the wall as I rotate and go back up. Okay, so if that's really easy, you go closer to the wall, you pull down to start, then rotate elbows back, then try to get elbows up and palms down or hands down. Let's try it at the wall. Let's see how it goes. So a little distance away from the wall, perhaps maybe forehead on the wall, not by doing chicken neck, but by hinging a little bit at your hip creases. Arms up, or you could start with your hands right by your shoulders, either way. If your arms are up, pull down like you're doing a pull down. And then elbows go back and then hands down and arms all the way down the sides. And then lift the elbows up like you're pulling something up. You're pulling up your pants. And then elbows back, knuckles toward the wall. Try not to touch the wall. And then knuckles up, arms up. If that was easy, step a little closer and we're going to keep doing them. So pulling down and then doing that rotation in the shoulders and then arms down. And then pull up. And then when you're halfway, you do that rotation. Try to keep your knuckles away from the wall or your fingers away from the wall. I've been making a fist to make it easier, but now I'm noticing if I lengthen my fingers, then I have to work a little bit more to keep my fingertips off the wall. Let's do two more. Take your time. Can you feel how your back, the backs of the shoulders, the tops of the shoulders are having to work a little bit? I know sometimes that can be like, oh, oh, I don't want the tops of my shoulders, my trapezius muscles that we love getting massaged. I don't want them to work. I don't want them to be tense. But actually strengthening them a little bit can be good. So when you're done with those last two, ooh, shake that out. Oh, that's yummy, yummy. Okay, last move. I'm so excited about this one. I've been doing this move so much just throughout the day. Um, this also is a little quirk, okay? It's also using the wall. I really want you to watch this one before you do it with me, okay? So just watch for a sec. I'm gonna come into a lunge with my front leg closest to the wall. Okay, not my outer leg forward, but my front, closest to the wall is my front leg. I'm pretty close to the wall. In fact, I'm going to put my hip on the wall, but you might start with your hip a little away from the wall. Hands behind the head. Don't do it yet. Just watch because there's some little nuance here. Hands behind the head, keeping the head on. Sometimes the head wants to come forward when we put the hands back there, but just stay upright. Elbows in close, elbow on the wall. This elbow on the wall. I'm going to talk you through it again. It's going to be a little easier if you can bend your back knee. And then this elbow is going to go up the wall and back. And now I'm open in a twist. And then I'm going to go up the wall and forward. Again, I can feel myself wanting to pull my head forward. Push your head back into your hand a little bit as you do this. Okay, so come on. Are you already doing it with me? Were you cheating? Okay, get set up. Your front leg is closest to the wall. Maybe you're like an inch away from the wall. Maybe you're right at the wall. Can you bend both knees or just the front knee? It'd be great if you could bend that back knee a little bit and then find your low belly hoist. Hands around the back of the head, elbows forward. Keep your head on. Wall elbow on the wall. And then trace the wall, go up. Your head has to lift a little bit. And then facing the wall, try to get both elbows on the wall. You might not. That's fine. And then that wall elbow goes up and forward, and you come back to where you started. Okay, let's do a couple more. Up and back, up and forward, up and back, up and forward, up and back. Stay here. Ooh, can you imagine spreading your elbows a little further apart? Maybe they're on the wall, maybe they're not. And then what if you imagined, low belly hoist here, low belly hoist. What if you imagined taking that back elbow off of the wall? The elbow that's been on the wall, what if you tried to take it off of the wall? Press your head into your hands and then elbow back to the wall. If it's lifted, up and forward. Release your arms, turn your back to the wall, turn your feet forward, lean against the wall for a moment. That is a big move. That is a really big move. Upper back helps connect the legs through the core to the upper body. Let's turn and do the other side. You might need to widen your feet left and right slightly. It's not a super long stance. Bend both knees if you can. Hip perhaps on the wall, perhaps not. Hands behind the head. That wall elbow is on the wall. That's kind of it's like your rudder, right? Okay, little low belly support. Elbow up and back. Turn toward the wall. And then up and forward. So keep going. You might notice, this side feels stickier than the other side, or maybe this is more spacious. Remembering that where you left after, 5 or 6 or 7 on the other side is different where you're going to start the first couple on this side. Up and back. Up and forward. Up and back. Maybe both elbows come to the wall. Up and forward. Last one. Up and back. Low belly, low belly, low belly. Spread your elbows, spread your chest, turn toward the wall. And then maybe that back elbow that's been on the wall comes off of the wall. So this is active range of motion. You're using your muscles to keep you in this shape. So effective and healthy for strengthening, for mobility. Breathing here, breathe into the bell. And then elbow back on the wall, up and forward. Release your arms. Turn your butt to the wall, toes forward, lean against the wall. Maybe even your head, but don't force that. If your head doesn't want to come to the wall, it doesn't have to. Turn your head left and right, whether it's on the wall or not. And then come to center. Walk your feet just a smidge forward. You can keep them a little bit wide. Hands on the pelvis, not on the waist, on the bowl of the pelvis. Bend your knees a little bit and then hinge forward, slide your butt up the wall, and then tip back up. Slide your sitting bones down the wall. Hinging, and then come up. So all we're doing is a hinge, but it's great because you can feel the sitting bones slide. So when you stop feeling the slide, don't go further. Just stay with the slide. Up, one more time. I love doing these. I love the feeling of the wall. And it's such good feedback, like, oh, that's all the further my pelvis wants to go. If I keep going, then it's spine movement. Toe heel your feet in, push off of the wall. And let's just check out our movement again. Little rolling, maybe a little, how's that rotation feel now? And then coming up. Sometimes, and then shake it out. Sometimes I will say, when we get into fascia, like this movement, that big rounded movement, or even the twist on the wall, when we get into fascia or we get into areas that feel quote unquote tight, it can feel kind of achy. Can feel kind of achy. So if you've got that sensation, do a little push across. It's okay. It's okay, right? It might be waking up new parts of your body, releasing. Sometimes releasing isn't that comfortable. Shake it out, just like strengthening. It's not that comfortable all the time. I'd love to hear how you feel, especially in the rest of the day, tomorrow, and if you revisit this exercise. If you find versions that are better for you than some of these little nuances, I always love to hear that, how you're playing with it. It would be great to take a short shavasana, even just a minute or two of lying down here. Please have that if you can, seated, lying down, constructive rest. Give yourself a moment to let all of this integrate. I'm so grateful to practice with you. Have a fabulous day. I'll see you next time.